Stephen Peter Marriott, the original blue-eyed soul singer, whose powerful rock and roll voice is considered one of the finest of all time, was born on January 30th, 1947 in London, England. When he was just 12 years old, Marriott formed his first band, patterning himself after his idol, Buddy Holly. Large-rimmed glasses and all, he also began to earn a reputation as a rebellious prankster, with the rumor that he set fire to his classroom, dogging him for the rest of his life.
My school burnt down, which I got the blame for. My mother still got the cuttings from that, but me and a geezer from Tulse Hill, we used to beat all these posh kids up for their sweets. Give us your sweets, you know, and they'd have to, of course.
A high school band proved too small for the impish Marriott, whose voice far exceeded his small stature. In 1960, he auditioned for the role of the Artful Dodger in the musical Oliver. He not only got the role, he also sang lead vocals for the Artful Dodger songs on the stage show's official album. Marriott quickly tired of acting and returned to his real passion, music. In 1963, Marriott met Ronnie Lane and Kenny Jones, whom he'd seen perform in other bands. The trio became fast friends, bonding over a shared love of R&B music, and formed a band, despite Marriott's plans to form a duo to be named David and Goliath with his good friend, David Bowie.
I used to work in a music shop in the East End. Ronnie Lane came in and I sold him a bass, met his dad, and he said, "Why don't you come and have a sing with us?" I said, "I'm a singer, out of work singer." Me thinking I was Jerry Lee Marriott, started on the piano, ended up jumping on it and smashing it. Consequently, they all got fired. They didn't have a gig no more.
The band, whose final lineup would also include Ian McLagan, named themselves the Small Faces, partly because most everyone in the band was petite. Small Faces were signed with Don Arden, a talent agent who would later be known as the father-in-law of legendary rocker Ozzy Osbourne, and Marriott would become a mod-style icon. The band's first success was the mod soul What You Gonna Do About It, which inspired legions of nascent UK rockers such as Jimmy Page and Robert Plant, whose song Whole Lotta Love borrowed heavily from Marriott's version of the Willie Dixon song You Need Lovin'. What You Gonna Do About It was followed by another hit, Sha-La La La Lee. For 3 years, Small Faces produced a series of hits, including All or Nothing, Here Comes the Nice, Itchy Coo Park, and Tin Soldier, which Marriott wrote to woo model Jenny Rylance. The two first met in 1966 when Rylance was dating Rod Stewart. Years later, Marriott pursued her relentlessly, leading him to write Tin Soldier.
I don't understand. You know, I need is treat me like a man, 'cause I ain't no child. Take me like
the song was a hit for the band in 1967 and a hit for Marriott, who married Rylance in 1968. The marriage lasted 5 years, and Marriott would go on to marry 3 more times and to have at least 7 children.
under dreaming stars to Itchy Coo Park, that's where I've been. What did you do there? I got high. What did you
Despite the band's commercial success in the UK, the Small Faces never saw a dime due to poor management. On New Year's Eve of 1968, as he walked off stage during a show, the restless Marriott quit the Small Faces over creative differences. After his departure, the band renamed themselves The Faces and recruited Rod Stewart and Ronnie Wood. Marriott, too, formed a new band, Humble Pie, with Peter Frampton, drummer Jerry Shirley, and bassist Greg Ridley. The band's debut single, Natural Born Boogie, peaked at number 4 on the UK singles chart in the summer of 1969. Humble Pie then focused all their attention on the US market, completing 19 tours in 3 years there.
See, we were being called a supergroup at the time, and we'd had one hit record, I think, Natural Born What's Name, and that was it. You know, we thought, well, if we carry on like this, there's only one place for us to go, and it's down. So we literally went to America to earn our make our bones, if you like. We didn't even know if we were any good, you know what I mean?
The band's live album, 1971's Performance Rockin' the Fillmore, became its most successful release to date. However, during this time, Marriott began showing signs of mild schizophrenia. He was also heavily addicted to cocaine and alcohol, which led to the crumbling of his marriage. By 1975, Humble Pie 2 had come to an end. Marriott, who was so poor he had been reduced to stealing food, thought the band's mob-connected manager, D. Anthony, had diverted Humble Pie's royalties to push a now-solo Frampton, and demanded that Anthony tell him where the money was. At that point, Marriott was taken into a meeting that included John Gotti and other members of the Gambino crime family. That ended his impertinent money questions. Financial struggles would plague Marriott for the rest of his life. In 1975, Marriott was considered to replace Mick Taylor in the Rolling Stones. However, Mick Jagger allegedly blocked the move after Marriott upstaged him during the audition. The following year, despite a court ruling that Don Arden owed the Small Faces £12,000 in unpaid royalties, Marriott remained broke. Through the years that followed, Marriott would attempt to reunite Small Faces and Humble Pie, and he maintained a heavy touring schedule throughout the 1980s. But commercial success would continue to elude him, and he became disillusioned with the music world. On April 19, 1991, after a night of heavy drinking and drug use, Marriott is thought to have lit a cigarette while in bed, igniting a fire. His body was found the next morning between the bed and the wall, where he had succumbed to smoke inhalation. At 44 years old, Steve Marriott, the mercurial yet troubled troubadour, had finally found peace. Marriott's funeral was held at the Harlow Crematorium. His ex-bandmates, Ian McLagan and Ronnie Lane, who was suffering from multiple sclerosis, did not attend. Steve Marriott personified the 60s mod movement, but unlike so many in his day, he had the talent and the personality to reach legendary heights. Instead, due to personal and professional struggles, fame and fortune mostly eluded him in life. In 2002, however, his musical legacy was partially acknowledged when the Small Faces were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
What I would like to do is hang about a bit longer and continue doing what I'm doing, so I'm still having fun at it, and hopefully there'll be some youngsters that can look at it and maybe get something off of it. You know, whether it's lessons in vocal or guitar or good drummers. That's the thing, and once us old sods get lost in the shuffle, it's a shame.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and to like this video. If you'd like to receive notifications of upcoming videos, click on the bell by the subscribe button.